Hello all, welcome back to my channel. Today I have a video mostly about books. I did 48 hours readathon this weekend on Halloween, so that was great fun. I did manage to read a little bit more than last year, even though I found out that last year I did a 3-day readathon and not a 2-day like this year. But that's okay. I kind of sense that the 48 hours mark is better for me. It's quite tiring, especially for the eyes, to read so many hours, because on these readathons I don't like to do the audiobook thing, because usually audiobooks have time settled, so it's 2 hours, for example, and you will spend those 2 hours listening to the book, and I don't know, I think it kind of defeats my purpose for the reading experience. But this year, or I don't know if it's a thing with short stories that are printed in paperbacks, because they all have a print which is quite small. It's little ants walking on the page, and it's difficult to focus after a while, but that's okay. It was what I had and I wanted to read them, so on last video I told you I would want to read this. I was planning to read this for a while now. I have been thinking about it for a lot of years, because this is the 25-year edition of this book and I haven't read it, Harry Potter. So I thought this was the time to read something that I heard so much about. I have seen the movies, but of course I love reading, even if I have already saw the movies. Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone from J.K. Rowling. This was great fun. Okay, I understand now what the fuss was about. It's a story for children, middle grades, I don't know, for children, but in a sense it's not. It's quite composed. It's easy reading, okay. It doesn't have a lot of difficult scenes to imagine, or to be difficult words, nothing like that, but it's very unusual. It has a world building which is quite it has a lot behind that. And okay, we know, I have seen the rest of the movies, so I know that a lot of these things that happen here and that are mentioned here later are determined to the story. So okay, I have a bit of information ahead, but it was great fun. It's very, very good. It's a good read. It was wrote beautifully. I did enjoy it. Now I have to buy the other ones. Okay, I'm looking forward to it. have started this book 2 times. First, when I bought it, I bought this 5 years ago, something like that, and I started reading it immediately. I got through 3 short stories. This is also short stories, but then I don't know, it didn't. I lost interest in it, so I always think I can come back to this later when I feel more engaged with the theme or the type of story. So I put it away. Then last year on the Readathon, on Halloween's Readathon, because this is a good book for Halloween mood, I started reading it again, but it was on the last stretch of the Readathon, so I managed to read the same first 3 stories, and then I put it away again. This year I read it all. Yes, it's Edgar Allan Poe. Okay, it's not for chance that it's very known and very well loved on themes kind of spooky and macabre. These are good stories. I loved a few. This is the Portuguese edition, but there are a lot of them, several languages, so I do recommend. Then this one. This one was a very special one. Okay, I will admit I didn't know. I think I have heard Sheridan Le Fanu name somewhere, but I wasn't familiarized with his stories or what he wrote about usually. So this is a classic also. And he's a master of ghost stories, and he writes beautifully. He loves kind of not too long, but a bit longer descriptions. He makes a lot of each story, so he focuses on a lot of particulars, and he kind of sets an interesting mood for ghost stories, because we read here in this book, we read a lot of things that we now think are common when we see movies or read the books about ghosts. So, but this, in 1888, he already wrote about ghosts particularly, and even now I think he goes a bit further than the things that we see now that are kind of commonplace. It's like if we are reading the beginnings. I did love these short stories. I have a few that I loved most, but almost everyone are special in their own way. So I do recommend this Sheridan Le Fanu stories, not this edition particularly, because I know there are a lot of them, and there are some on internet archives, so that are already that are already free for reading online if you want to. So this one was a good book. So these were my 3 books, my 3 reads for this readathon. I am pleased with myself. I think I did a good job. I'm a very slow reader, so I didn't expect to read all the 10 books I had chosen for this readathon, but I do like to enjoy when I'm reading, so it's not just reading for reading and not remember anything at the end. No, I like to, especially if the book is intriguing, I like to take my time reading it. So I've started NaNoWriMo this week on the 1st of November. I am writing a story which I called the Shapeshifters, but it has evolved, so even the title has evolved to other things, to a series. I don't know. I planned for 3 books. I think for now 3 books are a good goal for me and for this story, but let's see how it goes. For now I am writing. I am focusing on writing, on evolving from what I already have had. So I have been working on all that I had before. So I have been doing a lot of planning, a lot of writing about characters, about scenes. I have been doing a lot of backstory, and now I'm trying to put all of that into a book form, into a usable book form, and rewriting everything. So it's been interesting. It's been I'm trying to keep focused on one thing at a time, so one scene at a time, and not just get overwhelmed with it all, because writing a book in 1 month is not easy. It requires some pace, some writing pace, and in writing I'm also very slow, so I'm not writing. I'm writing as I am thinking the things, as I'm working out how things would be best explained. And I have another particular, because I'm writing in English for the first time, and I'm kind of afraid because I'm not very I don't have the practice for English writing. I do not have those words, that knowledge of how to put a sentence in a way that I like. So I like practice on English writing, and I know this, but I also know that I will work to gain it. So, but we gain practice by practicing. So I'm writing this. I will write this until the end, and then we'll see. Also this week it has been raining a bit here. Yesterday we had a sunny afternoon, which I enjoyed from my desk. I love when the sun comes in and I am working there, so it warms up the place a bit and gets my spirits up. So that's it for this week with my books and with my reading experiences and with my writing experiences. Okay, now an impromptu book haul. I managed to pick up 2 books this week. One is 1984 from Orwell. This is a well-known book. I have already read it, but I read it in ebook form and I wanted to own a copy and reread it because I think I missed a lot on this book and I want to read it again and find out what I missed. Again, we have the ant font, so this will be a challenge. And then I am starting to prep for Christmas reading. Usually I have a bit of, after NaNoWriMo, usually I like to read on December, and I like to have books with me that feel cozy and comfortable and that are good fun to read. So I bought this one by G.R. Ward. So this is a story in the Black Dagger Brotherhood series. I had made a video, one of my first YouTube videos on this channel. So with my collection of G.R. Ward books, I do love her writing. I do love these universes she created. It's fun, it's good fun, it's different, especially when I crossed paths with this author's writing. It was a bit different from what I was expecting, and I kind of liked it, and usually I'll get back to Ward periodically. So this Christmas I have already one, and it's A Warm Heart in Winter. I know it's Blay and Quinn's story, so it's the continuance of Blay and Quinn's story. Okay. I'm looking forward to reading it. And these were my book haul, my micro book haul. for this week. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you found some books you would like to experiment. I do recommend all of the Readathon books I read this year. They are different among themselves, but they are all quite fun to read. So I hope you stay well and that you did have a great Halloween, and that you have a good week ahead. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.